Howdy. I want to talk about medical family therapy, but also, and a lot of you, I got all you guys in many of on all of my classes. I went back and looked at the previous lectures. Boy, I don't know how you guys get through those. I apologize for they're not very professional, not very well put together, but they're not meant to be anything more than kind of an overview of what we're doing. We didn't do these at Pfeiffer, which is where I came over from. We were either synchronous or we're in class. So this is not really new to me, but it's something I hadn't done in a very long time. So if it's kind of yucky, bear with me. I know I move around a lot, but that's just me. And I say a lot, so it's better than saying I think, but hang in there. So let's talk about medical family therapy and just a brief overview of it. First of all, let's talk about the benefits in terms of who it is. Who's going to really gain from this kind of therapy? And then we'll kind of go through this backwards in a way, okay? So anybody dealing with an unexpected diagnosis of something or a new diagnosis and beginning a grieving style process. We all know what that is. The 5 deals with grieving: denial, anger, blah, blah, blah. So people that are in that situation, and then people having communication problems with their loved ones, particularly about health-related issues. I know of a person recently who was diagnosed with lung cancer. He's never smoked a day in his life, and he's asking how, why, and it's not looking good. The tumor's getting worse. So obviously would probably benefit at least somewhat from maybe this medical family therapy business. Don't know. People struggling with health-related decision makings. It's another group. They have to make decisions that affect other family members. Maybe it even includes genetic testing for a family member to see if their potential for developing the same illness is there. And then how do you navigate through the healthcare providing team? How do you have these people all work together? Your counselor and the medical people. It's an interdisciplinary approach to sometimes only mental healing, because there's not a whole lot you can do about the physical end of it. So it is designed to address both sides of it, but only really to heal and potentially comfort the person who's suffering. And then who is affected by this? I kind of just covered that, but family members, not only the person that's directly involved, but their family members, and it allows them to express concerns, fears, hopes related to the medical condition. What does that sound like? Sounds like the bargaining thing, right? It opens up opportunities for open communication. Sometimes it brings the family together, and it can promote overall health and recovery of the patient if the physical problem is a problem that can be recovered from. The main point, or one of the main points, probably one of the bigger main points of this type of therapy, is recognition. And the recognition has to do with the illness and its effects. It not only affects the person who's suffering from it, I'm kind of restating some things here, but it affects the entire family. And a family goes through these upheavals, emotional upheavals. They can even, an anxiety, that's a given, but they even may experience guilt and then anger. how did this come about? Could I have prevented it? Or anger in thinking that I could have probably done this and I didn't do something, whatever the case is. And that's true in a lot of cases. A lot of situations are the same way. And you as a counselor impact them by bringing out their abilities. We need to support the patient kind of an attitude. And you address the emotional responses that you see that come from whatever the therapy is that you're using, the content of that, the medical side as well as the cognitive side. We're putting all that together here. And you have to narrow it down to even things like the challenges that the illness causes, and then addressing those as well. How do you go about it? Well, you are a facilitator in some cases. You're a guide. You guide and facilitate conversations. You support family members. You point out to them their strengths and their resources. You ask them to work together as a cohesive unit. All together, we're in this together. We're a team. And you want to emphasize resilience. And you want to point out areas for growth. You help them navigate through medical situations more effectively. And that's a biggie point with this. Why would you want to do this? Or why would they seek you out? I guess is better. Therapists most of us are trained to be culturally sensitive and aware. Counts for maybe taking cross-cultural psychology. Hey, I teach that. And then learning to trust the therapy process. And then guided by competent people, there's kind of an insurance policy that care will be done properly. And what do I mean by that? Well, done respectively, being inclusive, and then being effective. There's an aspect of collaborative healing. I think you've already picked up on that. As a medical family therapist, you will be working with medical professionals, doctors, nurses, other healthcare people, similar to clinical psychology, where you work closely with psychiatrists. And by the way, counselors, psychiatrists, and clinical psychologists frequently are teamed to work with people who have extreme mental conditions. I'm not telling you something probably you don't already know. So we're going to be working with this integrated process. We're going to be working with interventions both on our side and the side of the medical folk. And working together, you actually place the care on a pinnacle. So you have this hopefully lasting care with all these ingredients that most likely are going to be better than not approaching it from that standpoint. Excuse me, where is it applied? All kind of medical conditions, chronic illnesses, acute illnesses, and mental disorders. So that's kind of the gamut, right? You want to heavily recognize family dynamics. And this gets extreme when it's a pediatric case because, as well as I do, children have a special place in the world. So we deal with emotional and relational aspects related to the illness. You try to establish a sense of control. And probably the hardest thing you'll try to do is help them find meaning for all of this. And hopefully the outcome will be quality of life, an improvement in quality of life. So that's basically an overview of what you'll be dealing with in this chapter. I hope this helps you. All right, see you next time.